So I believe all of you can see my screen, right? Can see my screen. Okay, so let's start. Sorry. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Master of Science in Fintech information session at NTU Singapore. So my name is Seng, so you can just call me Patrick. I'm the director of this program. So in this information session, actually what I want to share with you will be more than what you can see on our website. I would like to share with you some insights into this field, fintech, as well as I share with you many why questions, answers to many why questions. Why fintech, why Singapore, why NTU Singapore? And I, of course, will also share with you some key information about our fintech program and share with you the career prospects and so on. So who will be our instructors and so on. Okay, so the first question I would like to answer will be, what is fintech, right? So we usually use this buzzword, but this fintech actually stands for financial technology, and it is used to describe new tech that seeks to improve and optimize the delivery and the use of the financial services. So you can see what we are going to do is more on applying technology in the financial sector. So usually when we talk about fintech, we will normally refer to like blockchain and AI in finance, cryptocurrency. So wait a minute. So may I first check with you? Are you seeing the full, not seeing the full screen, right? Okay, so please give me a minute to. Actually, I don't need this kind of looks. I'm sorry, just give me one more minute. Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. So because on the screen sharing, there is another look. Okay, so that is what I would like to share with you, and then you can see my mouth moving over here. So what I would like to refer to will be the blockchain, AI in finance, cryptocurrencies, digital cash, smart contracts, business intelligence. All these will be, almost directly linked to the fintech. But actually, fintech also include other tech, including the red tech, wealth tech, even insure tech, and some other tech, government tech. That could be different, but in terms of the methodologies used, they are sharing the same technology. So perhaps I will come back to this part regarding the career prospects. But what I would like to share with you is that we are talking about the emerging technology, and that has the great potential to revolutionize the financial services. Okay. And I would like to share with you how may we understand fintech from the academic perspective. That is, so I believe most of you have taken some of these fields, and they are linked to some of our traditional subjects in undergraduate study. I would say that for fintech, it consists of 4 parts. So one is statistics or computer science. So it mainly refers to the data science part, and it also contains the business part, of course. And for the business part, we mainly refers to the finance or quantitative finance. And also we will have the AI or automation part, that is the computer science subject. And this one is usually new, even though some new undergraduate program has proposed this already, but in most traditional undergraduate curriculum, this one is new. That is the disruptive technologies, including the blockchain, including the mobile advisors, and so on. So I would think that fintech will consist of all these 4 perspectives. And when we construct our curriculum for our MSc in Fintech program, you will also see these components. And here is a frequently asked question by prospective students, how fintech is different from the financial engineering, mathematical finance, or quantitative finance. So I would really group these three fields together. I mean, financial engineering, mathematical finance, and quantitative finance. Perhaps I need to minimize this window. Okay. So they actually refer to a very popular field in finance or in mathematics. I put them on the right-hand side corner. So they refer to the applications of science-based mathematical models to decisions about saving, investing, borrowing, lending, and managing risk. Okay. And the tools that they use will be stochastic calculus, control theory, simulation, statistical modeling, and so on. And the topics they study will be those derivatives, pricing, portfolio management, risk management. So they are the, the very famous financial engineering subject. And I believe that you may have heard about that. So studying this will somehow lead you to a job about quant or strategist. And what will be the distinct feature of fintechs compared to them? So I will say, so first of all, I am not saying that they are fintech is superior to the financial engineering and so on. I'm saying that they are actually two quite different fields. So fintech will be about emerging innovations that have the potential to revolutionize the nature of the finance industry and enhance the productivity of financial firms. So the tools that we use will be data science, machine learning. NLP refers to the natural language processing. So this part is very useful in the sense that no matter we talk about the chatbot, talk about some human machine interaction. So we are talking about how can we receive the message in text and then we can understand it. So NLP is to process the language and then to analyze on top of that. And of course, blockchain, right? And we will also talk about the quantitative methods. And the topics that we will be concerned about will be automation of insurance, like the contract writing, auto writing, trading, financial services, and risk management, anti-financial crime, financial inclusion. So all these are a very different topic compared to the financial engineering subjects. So I would say that what we are doing with fintech is more of using the computer science approach to revolutionize the financial services. And for the financial engineering, we are more on using mathematical model or statistical model to get better understanding of the market. And of course, what we are trying to do is to really find some patterns, right, with mathematical model. But the data science approach can also do similar purpose, but from different perspective. We use data directly to derive some data-driven model. Okay, so in terms of methodology, they are quite different. However, I will say they will share some similarity. That is for fintech, right? So usually the problem that can be solved with data-driven model will be those can be quantify. Okay, that means we can use mathematical models to first formulate the problems. So from this perspective, you can see in terms of some, let's say, risk management, portfolio management, and also derivative pricing. So we will also learn about their formulations, but we are going to learn other set of approach to address this. So I would like to comment that even for quant in the industry, we can observe a massive shift from using mathematical models to using the data-driven model like machine learning and so on. So I'm not saying that they are useless, especially as I explained, we still need those formulation. So the lead of understanding the derivatives or the lead of and the use of the stochastic calculus will be still needed, but we are seeing the shift from mathematical models to data-driven model. Okay, so from this perspective, I would like to share with you, fintech will be more of computing compared to the mathematical formulation. Okay, so why fintech? So what fintech can benefit us? So as many as 80% of the incumbent banks and financial institutions plan to increase partnerships with fintech companies in the next 3 to 5 years. So I think the partnerships could be merger and acquisition and some other VC activity. So I will show you some data later on. And about 80%, so here I refer to quite specific field that fintech can benefit almost quite obviously. That is the anti-money laundering. So 80% of the anti-money laundering practice costs come from headcounts. So now we have the technology to deal with it more effectively. So what does that mean? So anti-money laundering is to spot those suspicious transactions. So previously, we require people to really monitor the transactions, really to look at each. I mean, this quite manually, but now we can at least have our machine to do the first filtering, right? So that can significantly reduce the manpower costs. So many financial companies have already been taking advantage of recent technological advances, and the financial services executives do it for a bunch of good reasons. So one is the reduction in operational costs. That is what I share with you. What I share with you is just one example. There are many examples about how to make use of machine to replace the repeated jobs. So you can actually also think about it. So I quite encourage students to innovate fintech solution. That is, if you are working professionals, perhaps you think about whether there are some repeated jobs that you are doing on daily basis, and those may be optimized, right? So second is the increase the revenues thanks to the better productivities and enhance user experience. So if we can optimize the services, just like the I think in Singapore we have done this conversion, and even in many other countries, the digital transformation of banks are happening, right? And you can see we benefit a lot from traditional banking to digital banking. So there are many services that we can do this by ourselves online or just in our phone, right? And that is the last one that may not be users' concern, but for banks, that is a great concern. Better compliance and reinforced security. So if, let's say, the procedure of the financial services involve human, the human will make mistake, right? So we can try to minimize this kind of mistake by automation, right? So this, and also compliance refers to how we can fulfill the requirements by the regulator and so on. So we can actually minimize all those misalignment and so on. So this will be some benefits that fintech can bring to us. But to us as a learner, so that may not be very directly related. But what I want to share with you, why fintech will be prevailing, I think, in the recent years. Okay, here are some data that I would like to share with you. I also want to draw your attention to this report by KPMG. So I actually put the source here, Pulse of Fintech. And for this source, let me clarify. So this is the report released for the first half, released the data up to the first half of 2022. So that's why when you see the data for 2022, this only covers half a year of 2022. So you cannot directly compare it with 2021 and 2020. You at least, right, is a rough estimate. You should multiply it by 2, all those number, right? Okay. So that will be a rough estimate. So I quite encourage you to read the report. Actually, KPMG released the semi-annual report on fintech. So you from that report, you can get the taste of the trend of fintech globally and also regionally. So here on this page, we will first talk about the global insights on fintech. So even amid the volatility, so deal flow continues. So let me quickly share with you what this graph means. So the top left corner actually report almost all financial activities, investment activities in fintech, including the VC, PE, M&A. And then VC, M&A, and PE are split into the remaining 3 part. Okay. And for each of them, you can see the deal count. Deal count is represented by this line plot. Okay, the number represents the deal count. So for example, there are about 3,000 deal count in the first half of 2022. And this with the dollar sign is the deal amount in billions. Okay. So you can see that even we are just talking about half a year in 2022, we have almost the same amount in deal amount in the 2020. So basically the trend is there. Even though the deal count is reduced, but the deal amount seems to be quite consistent. Okay. So this is the global insights, but perhaps for us, especially we are in Singapore, we may be concerned about the Asia Pacific region. So you can see that the same interpretation of all this graph and all these plots. And here, I think I just focus on the top left corner. Of course, you can refer to others as well. So for total investment activity in Asia Pacific region, so the deal amount, deal count is still reduced, but the deal value is increased. Okay. I think the largest transaction should be the quota investments, quota payment. So you can see even for just half a year of 2022, we already see the deal value is much greater than the previous years in Asia Pacific. So I think that is actually an indicator. So we are not investor, but at least from here, you can get the taste. There are continual investment in this fintech sector in Asia Pacific. Okay. So why Singapore? So I try to answer this question. So I would like to share with you, fintech is kind of a disruptive field, and it somehow affect one country's economics or the financial system. So think about it. So this is what fintech would like to do, but it's very important that the country is supporting this initiative, and Singapore is supporting this. And I would like to share with you, as many of you may know, so the whole country here is leading the digital transformation of Singapore as a smart nation. So not just about the financial sector, but other services like we have the unified platform for the identity, Seng, right? We also have some other digital transformation on different aspects of different service, different sectors. So fintech become more acceptable in Singapore, right? So it is because the government, the whole country here is leading the digital transformation. And I missed the first slide. So Singapore is thriving as an international hub at the forefront of fintech innovation. So that has been the long-standing goal, not just fintech, but also the finance, all the financial innovation. And this is not just a proposal. So it has been supported by many initiatives by MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore. So it creates a smart financial center and launched multiple fintech projects. And recently, actually last year, Singapore has issued 4 digital banking licenses to these 4 partners. So this will be some, wait a minute, I think I just caused this. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so this will be some great initiatives that our MAS has for the fintech part. So I think there are 9 initiatives that MAS is implementing or working on. So some of them, if you are in Singapore, so you may already experiencing that, right? For example, the MSc Fintech and e-payments, right? But some are still in progress, like central bank digital currency, and some other things like more on the research and development, that is the green fintech and sustainability finance and so on. And here we also have the regulatory sandbox. So if you have ideas, you want to experiment your idea, you can actually work with MAS on implementing your fintech solution in a sandbox. Okay. So so this will be some initiatives that MAS has been doing and is also developing. Okay. Wait. Okay. And the last one, sorry, I would just want to point out the one of the initiative, that is the Singapore Fintech Festival. So Singapore Fintech Festival is the largest financial technology event in the world. So we have just concluded the recent one, the 7th SFF in early November. And this event drew close to 60,000 participants, decision makers and investors from 160 countries, and featured 850 speakers. So that means if you study in Singapore, study with NTU, actually this event is free for our students. So that's why you can just join this event for free. So you can also see some numbers in SFF. I'm not listing the speakers here, but all those speakers are CEO of the famous companies and even the PM of some countries. So you can take a look at the speaker, and you can actually benefit a lot from such a great event in fintech. So the next event will be in 15 to 17th November 2023. So hope to see you over there. So this is the one great initiative that our student can benefit, so we can learn a lot from such an event. So here I would like to share with you more evidence that learning fintech or learning the digital skills will be definitely useful and practical. So here is a news on ST. So Skills Future report the pinpoints the skills Singaporeans urgently need in the next 3 years. So I think here not just Singaporeans, I think that we refer to the Singapore job market would urgently need the following skills in the next 3 years. So you can actually find such a report online. You may just search the Skills Future Singapore. So digital skills are increasingly transferable across different sectors. So even though here is information session for fintech, right? But you can see a lot of my content will not just saying that you just can work in finance industry. I want to say that here we are covering the knowledge, and those knowledge will be transferable across different sectors, not just finance sector. So as more enterprise embark on the digital transformation and technology adoption, so you can refer to this. And here will be the number. So these numbers are the number of job roles requiring this cluster of skills. Okay, so you can take a look at this, and basically we cover most of them, most of these required skills in the digital transformation. And also if we limit ourselves to the financial service sectors, so we will need these skills. Okay, so these are the overall skills for all sectors, and these will be the required skills in the financial service sectors. So you can see they are quite similar, but there are some, specific domain knowledge required. So we will also cover quite many domain knowledge in finance. Okay, here will be something very interesting. We can have you can also find this data from the LinkedIn. So we are talking about the job market in Singapore. So external market trends highlight fintech as the primary priority domain in Singapore. So we can actually see from these numbers from the LinkedIn Talent Insights. So here I just report the fintech and finance. Okay, of course, finance is a traditional field of study, so that's why the number of professionals and the number of open job posts will be much more. But you take a look at the fintech, the numbers for the fintech and the number of the professionals and open job posts for fintech, then it is like 3 times. So number of the professional is 3 times of the number of the open jobs. But if you take a look at the finance sector, so the number of professionals, like 17 times of the number of open job posts. So both have very high hiring demand, but you can see that we need more fintech talents in the job market in Singapore. Okay, and I think this one sentence comment by the LinkedIn, and honestly, I'm not sure how they define, but they actually recognize blockchain as the top in demand hard skills in 2020, and we live in the era of the fintech revolution. Okay, so hope that can convince you fintech is a trending field. Right. Okay, now we move on to the next question. So we somehow have answered what is fintech, why Singapore. Now we talk about why NTU Singapore. So the next question will be why our program. Okay, so why NTU Singapore? So we have quite good ranking, and yeah, there is an overall weighting on our NTU. But if we restrict ourselves to the AI and data science, actually NTU is ranked 2nd in the world by Nikkei and Elsevier for having the most cited research papers in AI and data science for this period. The first one is Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is a corporate company, right? So that means if we talk about the higher education institutes, NTU is the first. And our program will involve faculties from both School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, School of Computer Science and Engineering, and senior market practitioners, AML expertise. AML refers to the anti-money laundering, and the regulators. So later I'm going to show you some profiles of our instructor. So I can tell you that roughly speaking, the demographics of our instructor will be like half faculty, half practitioners. So you will be able to learn a lot of theory first, and then you also learn about how to apply the theory in the practice. Okay. And for NTU itself, NTU and Alibaba Self-AI Research Institute is the Alibaba's first research institute outside China. NTU also set up a research center with WeBank to support banking 4.0. So I think here I have 2 messages to deliver with you with this fact. So one is that they chose NTU. Okay, so that is actually a strong message because of the strong research ability of our NTU faculty. Second, since there are so many research institutes related to, let's say Alibaba, you can think of those e-payments, WeBank, we are talking about some blockchain innovations and so on. You will have quite a lot of research opportunities. So you can reach out to many of our faculty and to see whether you can develop something new, right? So I quite encourage students to do this, okay? So this will be some backgrounds of our NTU Singapore. So here will be some, I don't know, so beautiful campus and teaching facilities. So here we are in the room usually used for seminars. So it's not too big, right? So we will usually conduct our lectures here. And if it is a computer lab sessions, then we will go to the computer lab. And actually, I will share with you some more photos. So if we are like required to use the Bloomberg terminals are put in the business library. So you can also use this. Okay, so we do have quite beautiful campus and quite you know, quite good teaching facilities. Okay, so here I think let me check on the time. Okay, so I think I need to speed up a bit, but I hope I will not miss any important message. So I'm using the second half of this information session to share with you the key information about our program. So the first thing is to talk about to first share with you the philosophy of this program. So first of all, this program, in this program, we accept full-time students and part-time students. So they have different duration of studies. So for full-time students, the minimum period of candidature is 1 year, and the maximum period of candidature is 2 years. So for part-time student, the minimum period of candidature is 2 years, and the maximum period of candidature is 4 years. Okay, so the program will be oh, sorry, first of all, I want to say you can see the numbers for part-time is double compared to the numbers for full-time students. So basically the workload, the study load for part-time student will be just half. So that's why later on for my presentation, I will just present for the study plan for the full-time student. Then later on you just cut half. Then you know that, okay, some courses will be taken in first year and some courses taken in the second year and so on. Okay, so we are going to deliver our program in 3 trimesters. In fact, each of the trimester is a full-length semester in our undergraduate study, but we put it into 1 year. So that's why we call it trimester. So each trimester will last 14 weeks. Okay, so we have 3 trimesters. And actually, we further split 1 trimester into 2 halves. So that means we will have 2 mini terms in 1 trimester, and each mini term will last 7 weeks. Okay, here, 7 weeks. So shorter period allows students to focus on the topics and have more time to interact with the peers and instructors. So that is, you are going to meet with a lot of instructors. So because we are having quite a lot of modules, our modules will be like 7 week shorter period for some specific topic. Okay, and so what will be our philosophy of our program? So we have 3 trimesters. Each of the trimester have a main theme, overall speaking. So the first trimester focuses on understanding data science and information technology and learning about the big picture of fintech. Okay, and then the second trimester focuses on the advanced techniques that are frequently employed in the fintech industry. So later on, I will also share with you, we have 2 specializations, and those 2 specializations will differ in the second trimester and the third trimester. In the first trimester, actually both specializations will study the same modules, same compulsory modules. Okay, so you can see first trimester, we learn some fundamental knowledge. Second one, we learn advanced knowledge. The third one, we focus on how do we implement them. Okay, so we will have our practical module to do this, or we have other entrepreneurship module to do this. So I will go back to this later on. But this will be the overall philosophy of this of the curriculum of this program. And regarding the study load, on average, full-time student take 4 classes a week, and part-time student take 2 classes a week. Okay, so I hope you can take into account this, especially for part-time student. If your workload is heavy, perhaps you need to try to balance this, or let your supervisor know this, right? Part-time students can at most take 3 courses a week. Okay. So all courses are conducted at NTU main campus. That means here at the Yunnan Garden. In the evenings of weekdays, evenings refer to 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. or Saturdays. Saturdays we will have 2 sessions. One is the morning session, 9:30 to 1 p.m. or afternoon session, 2 to 5:30. Okay, so that means here we will, in 1 week, we will have 7 slots. And usually for full-time student, you take 4 classes a week. Okay, so you will see some flexibility that you can choose some modules. Okay, so full-time student and part-time student take the same class. So you are going to attend the same class. Okay, so this is the overview of the program, and this is the academic timeline. So I believe that you can also find this online. Here, I want to just first point out the first 3. So here is what I refer to. For 1 trimester, we will further split into 2 halves, right? And each of them will consist of 7 weeks. Okay, so we will have 2 weeks for recess around the Christmas. Okay, and then we continue the second half of our program. Okay, so that is the academic timeline. So you may want to refer to this, especially for working professionals. You may want to plan your timetable earlier. So this is the academic timeline, and I would like to say that overall speaking, the workload, the study load is okay, but you need to imagine that the first 21 weeks you need to continuously learn. Okay. So next, okay, as I share with you, we have 2 specializations. One is intelligent process automation, IPA. The second one is digital financial services, DFS. So I think this page is very important, especially you didn't study about, the information that we post online before. So here, why we have these 2 specializations. Actually, what we want to do is to cater to the request by the students. So such a program like MSc in Fintech, as I explained, technology part will actually take a quite large proportion. But we also like to help the working professionals who study maybe finance, economics before to be converted to a Fintech expertise, right? Experts. So that's why we have 2 specializations. IPA will be more technical, and the digital financial services will be tech-light in the sense that it will also contain technical components, but it will be more on the managerial aspect. So let's say, okay, now I know how this can be applied to many financial services. But for the IPA, we are talking about how these technologies work, and we are working out this platform, working out how to do the data analysis and so on. So I want to share with you these two specialization will then be able to what we want to do is to attract both fresh graduates and working professionals who have a degree in either quantitative or business majors in science, engineering, quantitative finance, and economics. So what I want to share with you is that I'm not saying that IPA specialization only accept the students with quantitative background. I'm not saying that, but if you study business, study finance before, and have not been trained with some programming, have not been trained with some quantitative skills, data analysis skills, then perhaps you would like to share with me, let's say, how your work will be related to this. That will provide you the experience, or how good you are in those fundamental modules like calculus, linear algebra. That is to convince us that you can tackle with the courses in IPA. Okay, so you actually both specializations will accept these two different backgrounds of students. Okay, quantitative or business. But for business students to take the IPA, I would strongly suggest that in the application, you share more with me how good you are in those quantitative skills, even though in limited modules, but just share with me you are okay with that. Okay, then for the DFS, technical guys can also learn this, right? So because you may study, let's say, computer science or statistics in your undergraduate study, you want to supplement your domain knowledge with this MSc program. That is actually a good strategy. And in this case, then you may choose the DFS because over there you will learn more financial aspects of the MSc, more financial aspects of the fintech. Okay. So here, that is what I would like to share with you. IPA, DFS, one is technical track, tech healthy track, another is the tech light track. Okay, and if you think yourself are okay with both, and you want to explore both opportunities, actually you can, because they belong to two different codes in admission applications. So you can actually apply for both. And in your application form, you not just our MSc in Fintech program, right? You may also apply for other MSc program, but you should always indicate which one you prefer, which program you prefer. So that's why I would say now actually you can, first of all, you cannot change the specialization after you are admitted. So what you can do is to apply for the two specializations separately in two admission applications, and you indicate which one you prefer. Then you let us to determine which specialization is good for you. Okay, so you can do this. You can apply for both. Okay. So this is the IPA and DFS. And to understand more about these two specializations, it is good to really take a look at the curriculum of all the courses offered. So in trimester one, so basically, sorry. So I would like to quickly share with you in trimester one, the courses are actually the same for both specialization. Here I switch between IPA and the DFS. So trimester one is the same for both specialization. So they are different in trimester 2 and trimester 3. So you can see for IPA, trimester 2 will cover quite quite technical modules like blockchain system 1, blockchain system 2. We are really talking about not just to understand what is blockchain, but also to develop a blockchain system. So that is actually quite technical, but very useful, I think. And you are also, so here for compulsory modules, we have 12 AUs. AU stand for academic units. And you will also, after you choose the specialization, you are going to take 12 AUs of prescribed elective. And other than these 24 AUs, you also can choose 6 AUs of unrestricted electives. So the unrestricted electives here will be those in pink. You can choose 6 AU from these modules. So you can see that you can choose the modules in another specialization. You can choose the modules in another specialization. So similarly for DFS, you can use these 6 AUs to choose the modules from IPA. Okay. Okay, so this will be the course that we offer, and you can imagine that, let's say here we have about 7 to 8 courses, and that is in trimester 1. For full-time student, you are going to take 4 courses a week. Okay, and similarly in trimester 2, trimester 3, the workload is more aligned with what I just shared with you. And for part-time student, perhaps here you will have you will have 2 years to take. That means you have 2 trimester 1. So you are going to spread your workload over 2 years. Okay, so more or less you are going to take two modules per week, 2 classes per week. Okay, so this will be the course selection guides for both specialization. Okay, so just now I mentioned about the IPA. I think let me just quickly go through what courses we offer in DFS. So we will cover the anti-financial crime and compliance. I think that is not very often offered in other programs. And we also cover the Red Hat. We have the FinTech entrepreneurship practice, fundamental of FinTech and entrepreneurship. And we also have this decentralized finance and financial inclusion. Okay, so these are quite a popular course we just added to our curriculum last year. So as I mentioned, even for IPA check, you can also select those courses as unrestricted elective. So what you should think about is that whether the prescribed elective in one specialization are all the modules you want to choose. Okay, if yes, then you should choose that one, right? Okay, next. Okay, I forgot to mention one distinct feature of our program. We have practicum. So practicum module here is an unrestricted elective module. So you can take or do not take. For example, if you are part-time students, let's say you have a full-time job already, you may not be able to work as an intern for another company, right? So that may somehow you may not want to take any practicum because you don't need, right? But of course, if you are working professionals, you can also take practicum by doing some project. Okay, doing some project with our faculty, that is fine. But this practicum module is very attractive to full-time students, especially full-time international students who would like to find a job in Singapore. So this module comprises either a research-based project or a self-sourced internship where students work on a professional consulting project mentored by experienced instructor to solve financial problems. So for full-time students, especially for international students, we have this practical module component. That's why our international student can work as a full-time intern. Otherwise, students with student pass, international student with student pass can only work up to 16 hours per week. Okay, so there is something I want to point out to you, because without these practical modules, you cannot work as a full-time. And if you do not work as a full-time intern, basically you will be quite hard to get a job in Singapore. So I think this is a quite important step for you to find a job in Singapore, and we help our students on this. So we will assist to send out students' resume to some companies. And for part-time student, I just mentioned, you can actually work on some project. The project could be a research project that you work with our faculty, or you have some project that you can propose to your company, right? You can propose to your supervisor, okay, why don't we do this? I do this for my coursework, then I believe your supervisor will be very happy about this. So you can use one stone to kill two birds, right? So you can get good performance in company, and you can also clear the module here. But here we also have some full-time workers, that means they are part-time student, would like to switch their career path. And then I think in this case, you should treat yourself as a full-time student. Then we will just find internship for you. Okay, so we will also have part-time student. I'm not saying that, okay, part-time student, you have a job, I disregard you and so on. No, so we will still help the part-time student if you want to find internships. Okay. So the internship companies our student previously involved with include GIC. So basically GIC will recruit at least one student from our program. Grab, Shopee, Lazada. I'm not saying that they guarantee to take, but they will also have their interview process, and they quite like our students. So I think as long as our student perform well, I think GIC will be happy about that, right? So GIC, Grab, Shopee, Lazada, Julius Baer, Lumic, DBS, OCBC, UOB, Macquarie, Bank, CIMB, and so on. Okay, there are many companies. I would not be able to list out all of them. And so this is the practicum. You can actually share with, you can actually explore more with us if you are keen on this one. So I'm going to share with you other aspects of our program. So what I share with you will be something stay on the website already, so you can study this more intensively later on. What I would like to share with you is that we not just help our students on our original curriculum. We also have some ad hoc activities to help our students, because as you know, fintech is an emerging topic, and basically the topics or the concerns in the fintech field are changing, right? So let's say recent years, we are concerned about the sustainable finance, green finance, and so on. So we will actually organize many events, many workshops. So here I'm going to share with you what we will do on top of our curriculum. So one is the preparatory classes. So we are going to have preparatory classes to prepare the students to start our program. So especially our program is quite intensive because you are going to compete in 1 year. So you will not be able to have time to review the previous content in the undergraduate study. So I think these preparatory classes will help you to get back your status of study. So I would say MSc program, okay, let's just talk about our MSc program. It's more like year 3 or year 4 of your undergraduate studies. So you are going to learn about the advanced topics and so on. Of course, the topics we cover may not be covered in your undergraduate study, but I just want to share with you the taste of the studies in our MSc program. I think it's more like learning year 3 and year 4, right? And now the preparatory classes are going to use these 5 classes to cover the year 1 and year 2, right? We need to build some foundation for us to learn those data analysis, data science, information technology, right? So we just review the calculus, linear algebra, and some programming. Okay, so this will be quite helpful. Okay, and we will also organize quite a lot of workshops, and we also have some events to get together. So these are the workshops that we have done. Actually, this now is November, right? So our new cohort start in August this year. So basically in these 3 months, 4 months, we already organized these workshops. Actually, we have more than that. We also have some seminars, research seminars, but that one is quite technical. So I would say here will be the workshops we organize to help our students. Let's focus on the left-hand side. Those two will be more on helping our student to get a job, okay, or switch a fintech job, right? So I think this workshop is very useful and interesting and quite unique. So we happen to find the programming interview workshop. We happen to find someone who can share with us what kind of interview question that being asked in, interview of the data analyst job. So usually the data analyst jobs will forward one programming question to you to do, and then you complete in 24 hours. So what kind of questions will look like? And this workshop will just share with you what kind of interview questions in programming. And we will also have Bloomberg workshops. So just to teach students how to use Bloomberg terminals. And there are some small tasks for the student to accomplish. So we also have get-together lunch. So our plan is to have at least, I think it's more of one get-together lunch for each trimester. Okay, so that is our plan. Okay, so career path. So we have shared with you the courses that we offer. I didn't really go through all the courses. I want to share with you their clusters. So how our courses to form you to be an expert in certain cluster. So that is what I would like to share with you here in more details. So if you are interested in trading, wealth management, quant strategies, so our courses here can help you. So if you want to be a data analyst, so our courses here can help you. And if you are interested in digital banking and digital payment, e-payments, so we have these courses helping you. And if you are interested in risk management and compliance, you can take our courses here can help. Okay, I just want to share with you all this career path. And career prospects for the graduates. So in this information session, what I was trying to do is to emphasize that the knowledge you acquire from this program will not be just used in the financial sector. So of course, financial sector can be benefit the most, but you can also work in banking is perhaps also considered as in the finance industry. You can also use in the accounting, government, and information technology. So that's why I will list this kind of sectors that we may consider: trading, portfolio management, banking, payments, blockchain, DLT, that refer to the distributed ledger technologies, DLT, mobile technologies, artificial intelligence, analytics, and some job titles could be a blockchain developer, compliance expert, or AML expert, financial data specialist, business development manager, and so on. So these will be some positions that we can consider. But what I would like to share with you will be what our alumni do after they graduate. So here will be the workout. I will not be able to have a better presentation, but at least you can see which work is larger, means there are more students working in that role. So it's more or less aligned with what I just present and aligned with our curriculum, right? We train them towards these roles. So basically, most of them are analysts. So associate, as you know, so in the financial institutions, there are different layers of job titles. So that's why we have this kind of titles. Okay, sorry, I want to share with you. So we have 2 existing students joining us. So perhaps since they are actually taking the courses in other room, right? So actually they are coming in during the break of their class. So that's why perhaps I will let them to share with you more perspective later on. By right, I should finish the presentation first and then they come in to share. But since they need to come back to their class, so perhaps I let them to share more perspective with you first. Let me quickly go through what we have. Okay, perhaps this will be something you also want to know, right? We just complete this. So let me first finish the alumni survey such that I will invite our students to share with you how they feel about our program. Okay, so let me first finish this session. Okay, so we have done an alumni survey on for our last 3 cohorts. So basically, this will be the duration of getting a job. So we simply split it into 2. So first of all, I want to share with you, finding a job amid the pandemic is not easy. We have quite a lot of international students. When they come back to their country and find a job, they also need to fulfill certain quarantine policy and so on. So that's why the duration of getting a job could be somehow biased, but we can still get the taste about how long our students get a job. So if we are talking about all locations, okay, so we are referring to the location, the work locations. So we have 58% who can get a job less than 1 month. If getting a job less than 1 month, that means normally speaking, they can get the job before graduation. And 1 to 3 months will be quite normal in the sense that they finish their work and then they have still quite a lot of interview opportunities and finally on board in 1 to 3 months. I think that is quite normal period. And 3 to 6 months usually refer to those, need to come back to their country and do quarantine and so on. So that's why the pie chart look like this. 0% for those who find greater than 6 months. But in Singapore, we don't have the issue with quarantine, right? We have 71% who can find a job less than 1 month and 29% who can find a job in 1 to 3 months. So this is the alumni survey about duration of getting a job. Okay, the next one is very interesting. It's about salary. How can we do this? Okay, so we're still presenting our alumni still willing to share with us partially this information. So I highly appreciate that. So basically what we provide them to choose is a range of the salaries for them to choose. Okay, so we have less than 3K and then 1K for 1 interval and so on. So the last one is greater than 7K. For all locations, yes, the salaries for different countries will be different. So I can share with you for those who are not working in Singapore, they are usually working in China or Hong Kong. Okay, or some other countries like India. Sorry. And you can see that actually this is the greater than 7K. So that takes the largest proportion, 31.25%. And then 6.25% is 6 to 7K and so on. Okay, so we have this order. So this is greater than 7K. So this is the less than 3K. Okay. And if we restrict ourselves to those who work in Singapore, actually 50% has greater than 7K and 12.5, should be 0% for the 6K to 7K, 5K, 12.5K for 5K to 6K and so on. Okay, so here I also plot the 0%. I didn't hide anything. And I also have a table that reports something very interesting because for some students who before they study our program, they already have a full-time job. And we want to investigate the salary incremental rate for their salaries. So we found that 50% has greater than 20% salary increment, 16% has 16 to 20% increment, and so on, 5 to 10% for 34%. Okay, so this will be very interesting. Yeah, as I said, later on, I'm going to share with you the instructor profiles. But since now we have 2 students here, perhaps let's welcome our existing student, and then they will share with us what they feel about the program. Okay. Okay, so I think I need you to wear the headset. Yes. So the next one you hear will be our student.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Oh Haoyun Olivia from China. I'm currently a Master's of Fintech student at NTU, and I belong to the IPA batch, which refers to the Intelligent Process Automation batch. Before I came to NTU, I received my bachelor's degree in financial engineering from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. And today, I'm very honored to share my learning experiences with you. Nice to meet you all online and on site. So today, I have 3 topics to share with you. First, why I chose to study fintech. And second, what attracts me from this program. And third, what I am learning as an IPA student. To start with, I started to consider fintech as my career from a course called Fintech Theory and Practice during my undergraduate study. In that course, I learned how to use the satellite data to monitor the economic activities, how to use the natural language processing techniques to analyze, to monitor the market sentiment, and then do the quantitative trading strategies. I think those topics are very fascinating. And I realized that technology is changing or reshaping the landscape of the financial industry. And that's why I want to learn more about this topic. And I hope maybe one day I can make an impact in this thriving area. Then let's talk about our Masters of Fintech program. This program has attracted me with its career possibilities and academic reputation. I'm not sure whether you have heard about the SFF, the Singapore Fintech Festival. I mean, this year, 2022, there are more than 62,000 people gathered here to attend the Singapore Fintech Festival in Singapore. And on that festival, our Deputy Minister of Finance of Singapore has made a commitment that the Monetary Authority of Singapore will commit the third tranche of funding to the fintech area. So there will be plenty of fintech jobs in Singapore. That's first. And plus, as you may know, our NTU is ranked first in engineering and technology. And our fintech program is actually the first fintech program in Singapore. So personally, I would like to recommend this program. And I'm confident that this program will help me to pursue my career goals. Actually, last semester, which is the first semester of our program, I did receive a full-time data scientist intern at a big bank. So I think this results reassures me that I have made the right choice. I really want to say thank you to all of my professors and admin staff because I think they are super caring, responsible, and supportive. Last but not least, I want to talk a little bit more about my learning experiences as an IPA student. I think our IPA course design is very comprehensive. As the IPA students, we have the opportunities to learn all the trendy fintech technologies, including A for AI, artificial intelligence, B for blockchain, C for cloud computing, and D for data. And moreover, our IPA patch will make a focus on those mathematical principles. Take our machine learning course as an example. Actually, maybe you know, like almost everyone can import the packages and run the models smoothly, but not many or only a few people can really modify and then create some new algorithms because this process is super difficult and it requires a very solid foundation of mathematical knowledge. From this perspective, when our professors are teaching a course, they will not only introduce the business application of these technologies, but also explain very detailedly about the mathematical principles behind those technologies. And I think from this perspective, these courses will help us to better prepare for our career development. And to put it in a nutshell, our Masters of Fintech program attracts me from its career possibilities and academic reputation, especially the math-heavy code design for the IPA course will level up our technical competency. So if you are really interested in the fintech area, please do not hesitate to apply for our program. Thank you.
Am I audible? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mengran, and I'm from the Digital Financial Services track. I have a Bachelor of Business degree from James Cook University, double major in banking, finance, and international business. I will talk about what kind of you will think interesting and fruitful of being a fintech DFS student, and what I think most beneficial from this program. So I did my undergrad in business, so it's not that tech, and I didn't know much about coding. But the DFS track, it's not that tech heavy, and it covers all fundamental codings. And if you think yourself is capable of mastering all these codings and you want to go further, you maybe can opt for some IPA courses for elective. And if you think it's just fine, and yeah, it's just fine, and you can just focus on others as you like. So I want to say the settings is quite flexible, and it's perfect for non-tech students who wish to who has a strong desire to get immersed in a tech environment. And what I think most beneficial is the diversity of student background of this program. You may think that the fellow students are all from finance or computer science, which is quite natural for fintech, right? But actually, we have a lot of students, a lot of classmates from finance, CS, or data science, electrical engineering, economics, mathematics, statistics, or even physics. And in the first trimester, we all sit in the same classroom, and we get to know each other. We form groups, we discuss, and we exchange ideas. We learn a lot from our peers. And I think when talking about this peer learning, I think it's a great advantage of our fintech program. For example, imagine in the Python class, a non-tech student raised some doubts. Uh, it's it's usually more efficient to reach out to your more experienced in coding classmates than going to the professor. And this also works for some more finance related subjects. I personally have benefited a lot from this kind of peer learning, and I think it's quite efficient and very treasurable. And I think actually every one of you will feel that you belong to the program as long as you have a relatively strong area of expertise and you can contribute to this kind of value exchange peer learning. And yeah, I think I wish my sharing is helpful, and I wish you all the best in your future journey. And if you are a non-tech student but wish to learn some tech related things, do not hesitate to choose the DFS track. Always remember, it doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is your desire. What matters is your passion, your intelligence. Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much. So I would like to invite you to our lunch later on. So after the class. So our student, our prospective student will also have a chance to talk to you. Is it? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think they need to return to their class. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, it's me. So actually I have only a few slides left. So but I would like to quickly conclude what our students just mentioned. And it's actually aligned with what I just talked about. So our program is designed to really attract both fresh grad, working professional, tech guys, non-tech guys. So basically their conclusion is that no matter you are tech guys or non-technical guys, don't hesitate to apply for our program, right? So here I'm going to share with you some of our instructors' profiles. So this page, I list 4 of them. Actually, we have more than that. So, but I think we have limited space, so I just here present 4 of them. So we have Dr. Jing Song, Dr. Aaron No, Rosaline, Niha. Actually, they are experts in their fields. So I believe that you will learn a lot from them. Actually, I learn a lot personally every time I talk to them. Okay. And of course, we also have our NTU faculty. We have our SCSE faculty. We also have our SPMS, including myself. So we will cover mostly the the theoretical aspects of the fintech, right? And of course, the programming part as well. So these are some instructor profiles. So okay, now let's quickly talk about the admission requirement and the graduation requirement. For the graduation requirement, very straightforward. So you need to complete the required academic units. So in total, 30 AU. And here perhaps I point out at this moment, you need to maintain a minimum CGPA of 2.5 out of 5 at completion of the program. So this will be the graduation requirement. So it is actually not really difficult, but this is a requirement. For the admission requirement, basically we have 2 hard requirements. The first one, you are bachelor's degree holder, okay? And preferably you are in a quantitative or business program. So such as mathematics, statistics, engineering, computer science, finance, economics, even accounting, right? Some other, I'm not saying, I should not say even, but I'm talking about those subjects in business school. They are actually relevant. And second hard requirement is actually for those who study with the non-English medium of instruction. Then you also need to submit this English proficiency test scores. Okay, either TOEFL or IELTS. So this will be the threshold that you must need to pass, and this is the hard requirement. Okay, and then the third and the fourth one will be a pass to your application. So for example, GRE and GMAT, basically that supplement your learning ability. So you just provide more evidence to say, yeah, you are a quick learner, you are learning well. And the last one is to just share with me how your work is related to our program that may not be reflected on your undergraduate transcript, right? Especially for working professionals. You have worked for a few years, then your work experience can actually supplement what your transcript profile, right? Tell about. So this will be, the last 2 will be just prefer, but not require. Okay, the hard requirements for admission will be the first one and the second one. But I would say that our admission application is quite competitive. So basically, we will receive about 800 applications, and our class size. Okay, I believe some students will ask me this question: what will be the estimated class size? So we hope our target class size for each of the specialization is 40 to 50. Okay, so combined will be about 80 to 100. Okay, I think this is a very good size, and it facilitate group discussion, and the class is also large enough for you to learn from your peers and so on. Okay, so this is a class size, and that's why you can count the percentage. You need to be, top 15 or top 20% in order to get an offer. So it's quite competitive, but I believe this will be something you let us to judge, right? You let us to judge. Okay, so admission timeline. So there's something you can find from our website. So the first agenda you need to know is about the application period, right? So application actually has already started. So it will end at the end of the January next year. So that's why if you are interested in fintech, interested in our program, do not hesitate to apply. Okay, so we aim to make the offer in March or late February. Okay, around that time. Okay, so it's likely that we will have 2 batch of offers. And then after the acceptance, then we are going to we are talking about how we start the program. We will start with matriculation, and then we will have orientation, preparatory lessons. That is the preparatory class that I present to you, and then our course commence on 7th of August. Okay. So next, program fees. Okay. So here, this is the for international students and PR, the total program fee is 55,000 Singapore dollar plus the GST, the test. Here there are two important details. For Singaporean citizens, you are eligible for a grant of 10,000, and this will be automatically applied. So basically, if you are Singapore citizen, that will be applied on your payment schedule. So you don't need to apply separately and so on. And for the test rate, so I think Singaporean will know, right? So GST rate in Singapore will be increased to 8% from next year and increased to 9% from 1st of January 2024. Okay, so something you would know, you want to know, because these two rate, these two rate will affect your different payment. But for full-time student, I think you just refer to 8%. But for part-time student, this 9% will be right, will affect you as well. Okay, so upon the acceptance, you need to pay a deposit of 5,000 Singapore dollar, and it's non-refundable. Okay, so this is the program fee, and we actually have some financial assistance you may consider. So there are some scholarships that you can apply for, but for those scholarships, the first one and the third one are for Singapore citizens only. And for the second one, OCBC AI scholarship, so it is for all nationals, so you can actually apply for it. But the application is individual. I mean, you are not apply through NTU, so you just apply by yourself. Okay, so all these scholarships are for your applications by yourself. Okay, so these are some financial assistance you can consider. Okay, so that's all I would like to share with you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.